Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It was another tense and dramatic episode of The Chase, but this time, host Bradley Walsh was left gobsmacked as his team of contestants delivered what he could only describe as a disastrous performance. Despite their best efforts, one by one, they were caught by the formidable chaser, Dara Ennis. As the show unfolded, Bradley's disbelief grew, and he could only watch as each contestant failed to make it through to the final chase. The first contestant to face Dara was Anan, a 65-year-old actor from London. Ayan's performance in the cash builder round didn't get off to a good start. He only managed to answer 2 questions correctly, which meant he had a modest £2,000 to play with. As usual, Dara offered Ian a tempting low offer of £200 and a much higher option of £20,000. However, Ian stuck with his original £2,000, perhaps hoping the odds would turn in his favour. Unfortunately, his decision proved to be a mistake, as Dara caught him before he could make it back to his team. Bradley, visibly disappointed, couldn't hide his frustration, and the tension in the studio was palpable. Next up was Diane, a 32-year-old structural engineer who had a tough time in the cash builder round. Diane only managed to answer 1 question correctly, which meant she had just £1,000 to start her round. Knowing that £1,000 was the worst option on the table, Diane decided to take a gamble and go for the high offer of £25,000. But, like Ian before her, Diane couldn't outrun Dara, and she was caught before she could make it back to the safety of her team. Bradley's face was a picture of disbelief, as yet another contestant failed to make it through, leaving him exasperated. Hoping to break the trend, Ruth, a 55-year-old cycling instructor, stepped up next. Ruth performed better in the cash builder round, answering 3 questions correctly and earning £3,000. She had the highest score so far, and her teammates encouraged her to take the safer £1,000. However, Ruth chose to play for the £3,000, a decision that seemed reasonable at the time. But once again, Dara showed no mercy, and Ruth was caught just moments before she could make it back to the team. As she was eliminated, Bradley's frustration reached its peak, and he was quick to call the performance really disastrous for my team. The word disastrous seemed to hang in the air as he looked at the remaining contestants, almost unsure of what would come next. The final contestant to take on Dara was Jason, a 29-year-old doctor from Bristol. Jason had the best performance in the cash builder round, answering 5 questions correctly and earning £5,000. Dara, ever the strategist, offered him an eye-watering £100,000 to tempt him closer. The temptation was too great for Jason, who decided to take the massive high offer. However, much like the others, Jason couldn't escape Dara's relentless pursuit, and he was caught before he could make it back to the team. At this point, Bradley looked almost defeated, watching as his entire team was wiped out one by one. However, there was a glimmer of hope. The team was allowed to bring 1 person back for the final chase, and they chose Jason, who had answered 12 questions correctly in the cash builder round. Jason gave it his all in the final chase, answering 12 questions on his own, but Dara, nicknamed the Menace for good reason, wasn't to be outdone. Despite Jason's best efforts, he was caught with 49 seconds remaining. The team's hopes were dashed in the final moments, and there was no happy ending to this episode. As the show came to a close, Dara reflected on the importance of considering the low offer, acknowledging that he might have been beaten if Jason's teammates had made it through to the final chase. The whole episode served as a reminder of the brutal nature of the chase, where even the best laid plans can be undone by the relentless pursuit of the chasers. Bradley Walsh, ever the professional, had to hold back his disbelief as he said goodbye to another team that had fallen short. His frustration was palpable, but so was his admiration for the contestants who had given it their all, despite the disastrous results.